Hello everyone, welcome back, and the day is finally here. Patch 8.1 releases on Thursday, the 9th of July, and it is the big AI rework. Creative Assembly have managed to send me the patch notes. There is a lot to go. I have so much to read. It looks like there's a lot here, including some new content, which is great. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, campaign AI improvements. With patch 8.1, a number of campaign AI changes and improvements have been added to the game. Campaign AI prioritization. What did we change? There are certain campaign AI tasks that lead to its armies clustering and idling, e.g. focusing on defending key regions. Therefore, we've added a new mechanism that allows us to control exactly what the campaign AI prioritizes. Depending on how many turns have passed since campaign start, using this new mechanism, we've deprioritized tasks, e.g. defending key regions in the late game, as contextually they're not that useful at this stage of the campaign anyway. How will this change affect you in-game? We expect this to solve a number of cases where campaign armies are clustered and idle around settlements. And the mechanism we've developed makes this tweak allow us to more easily solve similar campaign AI behavior issues in the future. Okay, so it would be nice just to get like some screenshots and stuff. I mean, obviously it's just like, oh yeah, this is what it should do. Creative Assembly do have an issue where stuff gets added in or fixed and doesn't really get fixed. Yeah, some assurances of testing would be nice, because this has been an issue that's been ongoing for a while, but either way, I guess we'll have to see with a brand new campaign today. Then there's campaign AI endgame scenario balance update, so I guess that's because we do know that there's a big change coming to endgames when it comes to 9.0. So what did we change? Utilizing the mechanism above, defensive tasks for endgame factions have had their priority decreased, making the late game more dynamic and much more interesting to play as the campaign AI will seek and expand and compete instead of turtling up and behaving reactively. The priority of tasks that target enemy forces is increased slightly. How will this affect you in-game? Endgame factions should be less prone to idling and clumping around the settlement, and situations where multiple endgame factions end up in a stalemate, not attacking each other, only defending, should decrease. Well, they don't generally attack anyone else, right? They're always just kind of focused on the player. The endgame factions were a player bias thing. So we'll have to see how this goes. I personally have like used it maybe twice, and that's it. If they stop becoming turtles, this should be quite interesting to see. But I've never seen the scenarios to be that interesting, especially now that we know what the end time stuff is, right? Like we know that Nagash, the Skaventide, and Archeon are going to have their own versions, which look a lot more thorough, and these endgame factions are supposed to be mid-game. I do want to see how that balance is going to go there. There is a known issues list for the campaign AI, so going live with issues. So, endgame factions spawning before turn 40 are more likely to both exhibit and cause clumping behavior, so nothing's really changed there. Multiple endgame scenarios stringing at the same time can cause regular factions bordering endgame factions to clump up around the settlements. Well, that makes sense because they want to defend stuff if these start actually attacking other factions. Endgame factions bordering other endgame factions clumping around settlements or near region borders. This can occur regardless of whether the factions are at war. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I guess that's the priority thing. They'll see, like, potential enemies. It's the threat meter. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's not too much of an issue, right? Who uses the endgame factions too much? Endgame factions at war with other endgame factions that share a border or fight over a contested province can form pockets of armies locked in a standoff. Usually this manifests as one side encamping around the settlement and the other raiding in the same region. The chance this occurs is proportional to the auto-resolve result. The more evenly matched the armies are in auto-resolve, the higher the chance this will happen. Alright? And endgame factions bordering a human of similar or superior strength ranking may fall back to owned regions and clumping up. So, the known issues are the current issues, right? I mean, this is what I'm kind of understanding here. But hey, look, they've done some fixes overall. We'll fire up Total War and I guess do a stream and see how it goes. I think that's the best way of checking it out, really. Okay, new landmarks. So patch 8.1 has added 4 landmarks focusing Grand Cathay to add additional buffs and benefits when conquering the East, which, you know, should have arrived during the Pashiva DLC. But hey, you know, like 2 months later is fine. So the first one is the Village of the Tiger Men. Oh boy. It's a tier 3 one. So recruitment cost minus 15% for all Tiger Warriors faction-wide. That's pretty good. Ability cooldown minus 20 for the innate abilities Guiding Strike, Master Strike, and Predatory Instincts of the Sawai Lords faction-wide. Spell intensity plus 10% for all Claw Speakers faction-wide. Oh god. And wound recovery minus 2 turns for the Sawai and Claw Speaker. Essentially a massive buff to the Sawai and the Claw Speakers for the sake of getting people to, I guess, buy the DLC. Xiangyang has got one, finally. So it's another tier 3 one, so House of Secrets, and it's got income plus 500 per turn, unlocks Hero Recruitment Alchemist, good. Hero Capacity plus 2 for Alchemist, Hero Recruit Rank plus 2 for Alchemist faction-wide, good. And ability cooldown minus 20% for basically the Alchemist elixirs faction-wide. So that's the, all 3 elixirs. That's good. Well, the 2 elixirs and the Potion of Healing. This is really, really good. This is really, really good. So as far as I'm aware, the most that you can kind of stack up the recruitment rank is about 16. So yeah, with this, it can take you up to 18. And not only that, but this is very good early on. So tier 3 doesn't take that long to actually get, especially if you stack up growth buildings. So yeah, very, very helpful. Very, very helpful. I mean, look, there's all this talk lore-wise about Zhao Ming and Alchemist, and then, nothing really there. So this is good. Right. Then we've got one in non-Gulf. So it's tier 4 this time. It's the Terracotta Road. Unlocks recruitment of Terracotta Sentinels. Upkeep minus 10% for Terracotta Sentinels faction-wide. Alright. Recruit rank plus 2 for Terracotta Sentinels faction-wide. Some of these faction-wide recruit ranks for units seem a bit strange, not gonna lie. There's some factions that have it, a lot of factions don't. Defensive supplies plus 200 for all settlements faction-wide. It's basically just to make Cafe quite defendable, I guess. And defensive supplies plus 50 per turn when under siege faction-wide. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, the supplies are pretty useless, and there's like factors where you can like siege and supplies just don't show up. The last one is Shi Wu. This one is a tier 5. And Grand Naval Lift, it's called. All armies ignore movement costs when embarking or disembarking from ships. Yeah, it's not too bad. And sea lane movement, minus 1 per turn. Look, this isn't so situational. I don't think anyone's going to build it, but it's nice to have the option. So that's kind of cool. Okay, 2 things here. So new technologies. 2 new technologies for Grand Cafe, focusing for the Tiger Warriors faction. I mean, this should have been here from the very beginning. Once again, this is what I meant about like the thing with Bashiva. But all right, Tiger's Call. Upkeep minus 10% for Tiger Warrior Stalker units. Recruitment cost minus 10% for all Tiger Warrior units. And base missile damage for Tiger Warrior Stalker units. It would have been good to get like a bit of extra ammunition. You've got like one skill, one tech that does that. But a little bit more would have been good for the Stalkers. And Hone Sensors. So upkeep reduction minus 10% for Tiger Warrior Dual Axes and Iron Claw Tiger Warrior units. Recruitment rank plus 2 for all Tiger Warrior units. And speed plus 10 for the Dual Axes and the Tiger Claws. Alright, cool. That's not too bad. That's useful. All these are useful. It would have been nice to see where they are in the tech tree. But like that is actually a lot more useful. Then additional campaign side updates. So the Goblin Big Boss, the Goblin Great Shaman, and the Orc War Boss now have access to the chariot mounts in the campaign. So this is something that has been, I think, since the release of the Immortal Empires, that these have existed. The fact that it's taken this long, it's either approval or they lost the technology. You know, we can't rebuild it. We don't have the technology or whatever. I mean, hey, better late than never. Greenskin units should be quite happy about that. The interesting thing here is Dragonblood Shugengan Lords, Yin and Yang, now have personalized skill lines, but there is no screenshot there, so we don't know what's going on. It's a good thing, though, because the Dragonblooded were lacking. The Magistrate was objectively better, same as the Celestial General, even though the Magistrate is still likely going to be the better Lord option. This is good. This is good. I'm hoping one day we'll see a Dragon-Blooded hero too. It would have been nice to just get those laws as heroes. Alright, campaign. So General fixed an issue with Zhao Ming's goals, triggering for Bashiva around the Chaos Invasions. Fixed bug where upon meeting the maximum capacity in the Garden of More panel, removing one of the locations does not cause available locations to repopulate. This happens with a few of those like special types of stuff, and I think it's something to do with internal triggers. Fixed an issue with the dragon ship armies, causing them not to grant settled grudges or iron favor. Note that this will not fix the affected saved games. You have to start a new one. Yeah, that's fair. When playing as Lizardmen, the main buildings of Itza and Hexotl should now provide the same control effect as the regular settlement main buildings. Cool. Hotkeys have now been disabled during the Realms of Chaos narrative event messages to prevent the UI panels opening that can cause issues. Oh yeah, so screen locks and stuff. Yeah, this can like actually break your campaigns sometimes. So it's good to see that. Again, they have to fix it for that because there are people on the Realms of Chaos campaigns. The building Sanctum of Quintek should now provide its growth effect faction-wide instead of only for local province. That's a nice little buff. Great. Change the effects of Rampaging Oak Landmark. Now provides immediately causes wall breaches when besieging Bellacor's army and attributes siege attacker for all characters faction-wide. Wow, that's great. Which is kind of funny because they're gonna like potentially get rid of siege attacker soon. So weird. The minor faction Sildra should no longer get siege corruption from an unknown source. Astromancy stance will no longer take 25 campaign movement range on each turn. Okay. And will now only take the cost when entering the stance as intended. Great. Well, it says moment range, but it's supposed to be movement. The new landmarks exclusive to Grand Cafe have been added, and yeah, we talked about that earlier in the video. When an enemy occupies a settlement with a purple hand, the unusual location foreign slot no longer shows building slots if they were originally present. Fix script error when starting Torok's quest battle Heart of Dark. That's likely like the quest not working. The Orthodoxy and Ice Court building chain should no longer remain in Kislev settlements after they've been conquered by another faction. That's a really old bug, isn't it? Fixed an issue, my cat just attacked me, where the title Slayer of Champions for the Chaos Warriors wasn't unlocked upon completing the requirement. The effect bundle Raise the Banners should now decrease cost and increase recruitment rank of warband recruitment units. Cool. Lords no longer lose action points mid-turn by changing mounts or auxiliaries. These bonuses will be properly changed on turn start only. That's weird. That explains a lot, actually. I was doing cycle changes with the mounts, and yeah, okay, that explains a lot. Fixed issue with reallocation of AP when switching between stances. Fixed instances where recruiting a saved character would initiate a dilemma, allowing stacking names of power buffs. I guess Dark Elves there. Well, High Elves too, I think. The settlement Massive Oracle should now have 10 construction slots available instead of 8 when playing as Greenskins or Bretonia. Shouldn't they just have 10 fully? Lords will no longer lose health or other stats when changing mounts in the same turn. Again, something that I didn't notice, and I was like, why is this character so weak? That's so weird. To be fair, I was like playing during a heat wave, so yeah. Faction mechanics, there's quite a lot of changes here. Added vampires and dark elves to the Iron Favor targeted cultures for Bashiva. Added a price cap to all actions within the armies of Shangyang. Costs are now capped to times 10 of their original value. Treasury and Iron Favor rewards are now fixed to the mission type, scaling for Destroy Faction missions tweaked to better reflect the faction size, and slightly improved Iron Favor from culture targeting missions. This is what I'm noticing. It's a lot of like, you'll notice this, right? It's a lot of stuff for Bashiva. And it's like, well, this should have been there during the launch of the DLC. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's nice that we have it now. It's better late than never, but, you know, it's important to actually have that like as good as possible for the launch of a product, right? Not release it and then fix it later. Fix an issue where armies of Shangyang would sometimes get more than 3 Zhao Ming's goals. Increase gold rewards from Zhao Ming's goals and increase gold and favor rewards scaling based on target difficulty. You see what I mean? All this stuff should have been there. Where are we here? Added building buff to Tiger Den when playing as Yuan Bao in Fortress Settlements. Nice. Always good for that. Again, giving you reason to use them with the other lords. The Lord limit in Bashiva's armies of Shangyang no longer counts towards armies borrowed from allied factions. That's such a weird thing. Fixed an issue where caravan rewards were not updating properly. Yeah, they were kind of busted for a while. Caravan encounters with Chaos Dwarves now resolved correctly without unforeseen wars. Thank you. Oh my god, thank you. Maybe now I'll actually look at Bashiva with a much more positive light. We'll do a Bashiva stream at some point and see if her campaign is better. Because that was a major issue. That was a super bad issue. Okay, so fixed an issue where the capture settlement target in Zhao Ming's goals would repeat with the same settlement. Yep. The plan scripted tour no longer breaks when triggered. Cool. Fixed an issue where the oath of activation requirements could be bypassed. Fixed an issue where missions on the Zhao Ming's goals are hidden if they have not been accepted but have had their requirements met, preventing new missions from repopulating. changed Raise Dead recruitment panel to include pending recruitment costs in its calculations. So it's no longer possible to queue up more units than you can afford. Yeah, that's good. That should also be with the demons too. Change the effects for the ritual Mistwalker reinforcements and Tyrion's Champion of Wolf 1 mechanic. Remove the effects targeting only Mistwalker units. Remove the vigor loss reduction effect. Added an effect providing the army ability Envelop in Mist. Okay, not too bad. And added an effect granting all units in the army the passive ability Grim Disciple, replacing Martial Mastery and Martial Prowess. Yeah, all good, all good. God, there's so many fixes. This is actually a really big patch. The ritual, Blessed Cold One Spears in Akai's Temple of the Old Ones, should now state the correct amount of spawning sequence it grants. Cults for the Mask and the Color have received the following updates. The Building Charm Offensive has been added for the Mask with adjusted effects for her. The Building Ritual of Excess has been updated for the Mask. It now has a cost in favor and provides a large amount of devotees to the mask upon building construction. The Building Ritual of Excess has been added for Dekala's Magus cults with the effects adjusted and the cost also for her, which it doesn't say, but hey, you know, why not? When playing as Slaanesh, Demon Prince of Slaanesh Lords should now have the Devour Captives post-battle option. Okay, so that's regen, right? Yeah, regen and replan. Change the logic of Sail's blind war. It will now cause the target to declare war on all factions it knows, except for Sail, its human allies, or any of their vassals. Sweet. That's going to be good. Caravans can no longer be dispatched before starting the scripted tour for Cafe Caravans. This is to stop a soft lock again, I guess. Fixed an issue where Elspeth was able to construct more than 5 gardens or more. Yeah, okay, works. I mean, it's anti-fun, but at the end of the day, if they're going to fix issues, they're going to fix even the anti-fun, like the fun ones, right? Scripted tour for the Pleasure Palace no longer triggers when the user selects and deselects a settlement. Great. The boar meat ingredient from Grom's Cauldron should now unlock when a Savage Orc Shaman unlocks his wall boar mount. Okay. Warzag unlocks Spleen Ripper, or Gorbad unlocks Nala. Yeah, it makes sense, because like you get the boar, right? The Spider Egg Yolk for Grom's Cauldron should now properly unlock after recruiting an Arachnarok. Cool. The Deep's foreign slot should now be removed if the settlement is traded to another faction. Note that this will fix this. It doesn't go for the current saves. You have to start a new one. Rituals of Pestilence and Ritual Plague now correctly increase Epidemius' tally mechanic. Okay, so this is something that, yes, worked and then didn't, so it's good. Dark Elves should now get the same income from ports benefit from the High Elves received for the main building in Ancient City Colony. Thank you! Someone's listening. Thank you! Okay, this will be better for the economy. And then establishing a colony in the Shrine of Cain's Ruins as Aisling no longer requires a colony availability points, as it doesn't cost colony availability points when ending the turn. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's a lot of faction fixes. That's a lot. All right, we're going to do 3 sections here. So characters, units, and balance. Fixed soft lock where Aisling is declaring war on the Awakened and Clan Spittle, and both of them are vassals or allies to the player. Weird. Well, I mean, I guess you would want to make them vassals or something. Why? It's so weird. But I guess, players' freedom of choice and all the rest. Adjusted the effect of the Fruits of Torment after completing all narrative missions as Dekala. It will now increase the unit capacity and replenishment rates in demonic attraction recruitment. Sweet. Nakai should now keep his horde buildings after he gets confederated by another Lisbon faction. Okay, good, you don't have to start from 0. Repans will now start her campaign with a peace treaty and military access agreement with the faction Leoness. What a strange thing. Maybe they're planning for the Bretonia rework, and they're just kind of sneakily going oh, we're doing something for Bretonia. Units. Fixed an issue where Setang the Watcher was ignored by some skills benefits affecting hero. Cool. Fixed the gifts of Slaanesh not being applied to the generals when they are wounded or have hero action applied to them. I'm reading ahead and there's typos and stuff, so it just kind of threw me off. So fixed an issue where the Demon Smith Sorcerer with the Law of Shut didn't have the Hide Forest attribute. In Rewards of Dread, the cost to increase unit capacity of Chimera and Praeton should now correctly increase each time you purchase it. Increase the recruitment time of Chimera to 2 turns to be equal to all tier for all monsters. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Bit anti-fun, but makes sense. When playing as a Tomb King's faction, the Salt Mine building should now increase the recruitment rank of Lich Priest as intended. Sweet. Dragon-blooded Shugengen Lords Yin and Yang now have personalized skin lines. We talked about that before. Basically, it's just buffs up units and stuff. They told us, but they didn't have a screenshot for it, so it's a shame. But, it's very last second. They give us stuff. They give us this stuff kind of late. Let's just be very honest. It's always kind of late. But it's fine because at the end of the day, they probably lock down the patches at the very last moment or whatever, just like going into Devlock, going, okay, we're happy with this. Let's start making the actual patch notes. So nothing against them. I don't mind this being given to us late if it means just more photo, right? So balance now. Miao Ying's starting army buff to help her early campaign experience. Again, nothing really told there. Increased number of stalkers given in Ivory Road Dilemmas. Reduce the price of units in one of the choices when units are given through the Ivory Road event. Again, doesn't really say so much. And some auxiliary balancing. So it's basically just like boosting up some auxiliaries, which is all cool. I just zoomed out and I don't think we're even halfway yet, which is good. This is like very thorough. So events and missions. Stirkar should now appear for Azazel after finishing his missions. Cool. When playing as the Beast's Men, completing the mission The Fall of Man should now properly trigger the event The Fall of Men, granting the auxiliary the Band of the Fallen Kings. When playing as Grom the Paunch, all versions of the mission Cook for the Hag should now properly complete when the correct recipe and ingredients are cooked. Fix the script error that occurred when completing a shanty mission. Gotrek and Felix quest battle now triggers for Bashiva. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was intended. All right. Fix the bug where demon invasion forces and Bashiva's questline do nothing. Yeah, they just like kind of just stay there for some reason. Items. Fix new Cathayans auxiliaries not properly being generated from auxiliary drops. Great. Fixed an issue where fusing 2 green arcane items as Valkyria and was destroying the items but wasn't producing a blue one. Valkyria should now receive a blue arcane item when fusing green ones. Cool. We've got technologies here now. So the technology service, Great and Small, should now appropriately reduce the cost and build time of Bashiva's military buildings. Note the peasant huts and peasant stables won't be affected as this technology, they're not being considered military buildings. Okay, that's fine. Added bespoke technologies for Tiger Warriors in the Cathayan technology tree. Cool. I thought that was just for Bashiva, but it looks like it's going to be for everyone. And fix Celestial Dragon Guard and Celestial Dragon Crossbow benefits to provide their benefits to the appropriate units and their regiment of renowned versions. Whew, this is going to be a long one. There's a heat wave going on, so like I'm melting when I'm recording. I can't have my fan on because it's too loud, and I'm suffering. I'm really suffering. Let's continue, right? So skills, abilities, and traits. Change Traditions of Fortitude to now affect all Tiger Warrior units, and also changed how the Tiger Warrior Sawai benefits are displayed to be consistent with the other skills in the tree. Caravans now possess a new skill, allowing them to reduce or become immune to attrition. Good, finally. Hopefully that affects the Chaos Dwarfs too. Because, goddammit. Fixed issue where Norscan provincial actions effects were applying to the player armies instead of the enemy armies. Draika's skill, the natural order, should now increase the recruitment rank of branch wraiths as intended. Fixed an issue that caused the mentor skill to occasionally not be visible for the celestial general lords. Drown Dead, Awaken the Grave, and Command of the Unliving will now receive cooldown reduction from cooldown to all effects, to all spells. Effects. Yeah, cool. The Gatemaster skill, Implacable Spirit, should no longer unnecessarily display the portrait of the Gatemaster. Weird. Okay. When playing Tic-Tac-Toe, the Skink Priest Beast should now have the correct skill, Gong Attunement, instead of Sun Alignment. High Queen Khalida's skill, Tenacity, should now require only 2 points instead of 3. Cool. Warriors of Chaos Tech, Giant Manacles, and the skills, Monstrous Strength, and Freakish Mutations will now provide bonuses to Chimera and Dreadmore. I feel like we've been here before. Like I'm really... I think this has been going on a lot with them not getting skill points. Supreme Sorceresses, Warlock Masters, and Warlock Engineers now have a chance to be recruited with a knowledgeable trait, increasing the experience gain of the character and a chance to receive a magic item after battle. Aisling and his dragon ship admirals will no longer have the Looter skill and instead have been granted the Ancient Cunning skill. To facilitate this, the Ancient Cunning skill has been replaced with Elven Scholar in the second part of the campaign skill line. Alright? Fixed an issue with the transformation of Kadon, Lore of Beast, not being available to Wood Elves or Bashiva's faction. It was, though. I'm pretty sure I used that. Fixed an issue with Champions of Sinesh are missing immune to psychology trait provided by the Mark of Sinesh. Gorbad Iron Claw skills, Shooters to the back, Riders to the flanks, should now properly grant their respective ability and attribute to the listed regiments of renown. And fixed an issue where movement increases applied through traits and auxiliaries didn't work for heroes. Alright, UI. Fixed an issue where Insignia assigned menu loses functionality if it's opened whilst the army is moving. Fix the 3D relics decal on settlements appearing for factions other than Bashiva. Fix the select race button not working in the unit and spell browser. Finally, there's been times. on stream that I've just needed to talk about a unit or something. I couldn't get the stats up. Fix the names of all lords appearing as empty or incorrect text. Fix Yao Ming's goal mission tooltip, sometimes breaking and not displaying properly. Fixed incorrect warning text on loaned armies in Zhao Ming's support recruitment. You see, again, loads and loads of stuff for Shiva. Devotion tooltip can no longer be clicked through. Fixed missing UI elements for gatekeeper embed actions. Fixed issue where caravan tooltips display the wrong unit rank number when recruiting a caravan. The flow of desirability tooltip no longer has the incorrect condition. Fixed Bashiva's Tiger Warriors garrison leaders having cafe names. What is my cat doing? What are you doing? So yeah, just the Bashiva Tiger Warriors not having proper names for Sawai. Sorry, my cat was being weird. Fixed an issue where some settlements weren't displaying the icon of trade resource they're providing. The action points of heroes will probably be added to lords when they join the army. And fixed an issue where activating the rituals in the campaign, where some of the upgrades were not displayed in the UI panel. AI. Improve the performance of the Tiger Warriors Bashiva's campaign AI behavior, so probably like less chances of dying within 2 turns. Claws of the White Tiger Bashiva now properly sent out caravans, so this is for the AI. And Nullskin factions will now build mammoth recruitment buildings. Cool. Alright, we're jumping into battle changes now. So General fixed a script error in second tutorial battle and prologue campaign. In Bashiva's final quest battle, units can no longer move to or land on unreachable areas of the map. Zarina's Ice Court sled mount should now be available to players who don't own the Shadows of Change DLC. Yeah, this was supposed to be proper FLC, so that's good. Fix the issues where increase to explosion radius made in campaign did not increase it in battle. See, I wasn't going insane. I said it a while back to someone and they said I was going insane. All right, cool. Fixed an issue where underground intercepts would trigger a minor settlement battle instead of a subterranean underway battle. Cool. Weird. Battle now. So made the following changes to address issues with overstacking speed bonus when playing as a Slanesh faction. Alright, CA, I know this had to be done, but you have to break my heart, man. Alright. The innate hero trait Sleek now provides speed bonus only to the hero, not the whole army. The sinful demeanor of exalted hero Slanesh now provides speed only to the hero, not the army. Oh boy. The skill Bend the Mind, Bend the Flesh, Cultist of Slanesh only provides to the hero. The skill Umbral Pal of Druki Anointed now provides the evasion ability only to devotees of Slanesh, not the whole army. That makes sense. And Dekala's Mark of Vindictiveness, the Lash, has had its speed change and charge speed bonuses change to 10%, 15%, and 20% for the 3 tiers respectively. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. All right, here we go with units, right? So we're going to be doing units. Sky Junk will now have the Eye of the Dragon ability again. Thank you. Added missing moving attack animation for the Jade Lancers. Sky Lantern's projectile range is now correctly being adjusted to 275. Thank you, Creative Assembly. Thank you. This is something that's being desperately needed because it's literally the only thing that actually works for it. I can't believe it. Like, I had to rage a little bit on that video, but it's just like, they're not good. And the range was just what was helping it. At the end of the day, literally, I mean, they're still not great units, but that's because they suck in the tabletop now too, so it's not really CA's fault, you know. Night Goblins will now face the direction in which they are placing ladders. Cool. Added the aquatic trait to Lokia Fellheart and both Black Ark Corsair units. Great. Fixed an issue where Hobgoblin Wolf Riders bows were not counting towards the missile unit cap and missile, cavalry, chariots, and war machines unit cap. Fixed an issue where the Gate Master incorrectly had expert charge defense while on a warhorse. Alright, well, that makes sense. Fixed an issue where the Great Shaman Sorcerer, Death, had less missile resistance while on a War Mammoth mount. Alright. Fixed an issue where Bjorg Bearstruck and the Marauder Bearmen were available as an extended roster unit for the Warriors of Chaos when unit caps were turned on. That's for, like, general battles. Fixed an issue where the Rusty Arrows, Night Goblin Archers, had lower charge bonus than the base Night Goblin units. That happens because of balancing, because, like, obviously it's a different database thing. Calmed the steam tanks down a little bit so they stopped moving and spinning out of their own accord without any player intervention. That's the way to write it. I love that. Okay. Skills, abilities, and traits. Remove the bullet point on Wind Bow, incorrectly stating that it deals scaling damage. Fixed an issue where some lords and heroes were missing the encourage attributes. Fixed an issue where Master of Mist ability didn't have a cooldown. Fixed an issue where the self effect for dual personality betrayer ability was not being applied to the cursed Etin rune callers. UI removed a number of placeholder icons from the new maps and fixed an issue with the Herald of Slanesh when put on a demonic steed had the wrong unit type icon. Cool. This is going to be a long one. I still think I'm not about halfway. Big patch. Very good to see. AI and maps. So AI first, fix an issue where the AI ignores routing units when there are no other suitable targets nearby or urgent tasks to do, so they will kill your hero if he's running away and he's left alone. Fixed an issue where the AI had problems reforming its big army, causing units to stack on the border of the map. Great. Fixed an issue where the AI range units are now constantly receiving different orders and changing the formation while prioritizing outflanking instead of just shooting the open targets. And fixed an issue where the AI was stacking units on top of each other in choke point battles. Again, this is all good. Good. It's going to be smarter AI, and that is desperately needed. So, the map thing, right? So, added 2 new battles, land and ambush, to the area of Blackfire Pass. There was conversation with Creative Assembly, and as far as I'm aware, the Blackfire Pass map has always been there, but not the ambush. So, it should be 1. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this always been there. I've got streams with vanilla, playing in that map, so yeah. Fixed incorrect wall HP in Ancient City of Quintex Dark Elf Siege map. Fixes and adjustments to deployment zones, ambush zones, and reinforcement markers in various maps. Cool. That would require too much to write, I guess. And selection of minor terrain and border and height adjustments in various maps. Maybe those floating trees will finally leave, which is, yeah, it's kind of weird, right? All right, general section here. So performance, fixed crash caused by caravan encounters from Confederated factions. Cool. That would happen if you Confederate a faction, the caravan's still there and it just kind of goes all over the place. Fixed crash occurring after using amethyst artillery units in the battles as Whistle and the Null. Yeah, I guess it's because the bloom gets really high and then things get weird. Visual. Devotees of Sinestro portholes now use correct updated models. Tiger War Stalker's hair no longer jumps around. Jumps around, jumps up, and gets... Oh my god, really? Who fucking wrote this? You know what? I'm going to leave this in. He got me. God damn it. Nice one. Whoever wrote this, these patch notes, well done. Well done. Honestly, I'm kind of keen on this. Let them have their fun. This is great. Ivory Road scripted tour dispatch button no longer remains highlighted after completing the scripted tour. Fixed an issue where in the skirmish versus AI as Demons of Chaos, the Heralds of Tzeentch on Disc of Tzeentch doesn't have said disc. Fixed capture point flag positioning in Quintex and Sartosa coast maps. Fixed an animation issue where Celestial General on Celestial Lion detaches from Mount Drake. Oh yeah, this is where he goes flying off. Firewall's moving animations are no longer interrupted, which would lead to them not dealing damage. Added missing axe variants for the Doomseekers and the Brotherhood of Grimnir. Audio Bashiva's quest battle option objective line now plays when completed. And miscellaneous. Fix the translation error in the Warp Tech Academy and fix the bug where game objects could be clicked outside of visible game display, i.e. on ultra-wide monitors. All right, great. Not too bad. Okay, so let's be fair, we're not going to talk about the battle balancing because it's literally just buffs and debuffs, right? At the end of the day, this stuff has to happen, and I think it's really important. We haven't had patches in a while that have had battle balancing, so I'm really happy for this. Hopefully, the multiplayer fans are happy. They have nerfed a lot of my Sinesh stuff though, so but hey, at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of the game, for the benefit of all the people doing tournaments and all the rest, all those multiplayer YouTubers who really do rely on battle balancing. So it's good to see this coming forward. Yeah, this is a big patch. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see if everything works. I will be streaming this later today to check out the campaign, AI changes, and the rest. But I'm really hoping that everything goes well because at the end of the day, we've all been lacking a very good patch for a while. It looks good. It looks keen. Everything on paper looks good. It's always very important to say that. It looks interesting. They did buff up the Famir, which is lovely. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully this is, working as intended. It's very good patches. I'm happy about this. So far, I'm very, very happy about what we've been able to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of discussion. I'm going to set this to render, and then I am going to turn on the fan. And probably have another cold drink. Good lord. It's very hot. I hope you guys are keeping hydrated because apparently there's another heat wave coming. Have a good one. Stay safe, everyone. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.